Hello, this is Chaudhry Mahmood Anwar. Welcome back to my research and statistics education channel. In this lecture, I will tell you how to conduct ridge regression in XLSTAT software. XLSTAT software is a Microsoft Excel based software which can be downloaded from XLSTAT.com. You can download its trial version or the paid version. You know that you will conduct a ridge regression if your data suffers from multicollinearity or the number of independent variables are very large. In this case, your standard OLS regression cannot produce accurate inferences because the standard errors would be very large due to the multicollinearity problem, and the produced R-square value would also be very large, for instance above 90%. In this case, you will conduct a ridge regression analysis. In ridge regression analysis, what you do, in fact, you utilize L2 type of regularization. In this type of regularization, you add a penalty term in the sum of the squares of the regression coefficients. Now I will tell you how to conduct the ridge regression in XLSTAT software using the sample data. This is our data file in XLSTAT software. In this file you can see we have 35 independent variables and one dependent variable. You can see that we have large number of independent variables. These are our data. Now we will conduct ridge regression. Click on modeling data tab, find the ridge regression radio button and click on it. And this is the window for ridge regression. I will remove the old values so that I may tell you how to properly execute it. Okay, these are the tabs: journal, options, validation, prediction, missing data, output, charts. So we will start from journal. In this box you will enter your dependent variable. Click here. This is our dependent variable y. Select y. Click here. Now the dependent variable is selected. Our data type is quantitative data type. Okay, now we will enter our explanatory X or independent variables here. We can select quantitative data type or qualitative data type, but we don't have qualitative data type. In this example we will use the quantitative data type. So click here first and select all your independent variables. I will select them. Okay, so these are the independent variables. Click here. Here you can observe that all the cells with the independent variables are pasted here. Uncheck this qualitative. You will use sheet tab here. If you are using variable labels, then you will click here. We are using variable labels. If you want to add the labels of observation, you can also add by clicking here, but in this example we are not using the observation labels. Click on options, model parameters. You will use cross validation for ridge regression, lambda. You will click lambda, and for cross validation parameters you will select number of folds is equal to 5 and number of tested values is equal to 100. Here we don't need interactions, and stop condition should be as default. Click on validation. You can use validation, but in this example I'm not using validation. You can also use prediction. You can predict your X variables, independent variables, on the basis of the dependent variables, but in this case I am not specifically predicting those variables. Missing data. If you have missing data, you can use this tab. Output, you need to click on descriptive statistics, correlation matrix, and standardized coefficients. You can also use predictions and residuals and evolution of the MSE cross validation. In charts, you can draw charts for predictions and residuals, variable importance, and evolution of the MSE cross validation. Now the data has been selected and all the parameters have been set. Now please click on OK. Again click continue. The software is running. This is the outcome of ERIH regression in XLSTAT software. I will scroll it down. This is the summary statistics. For each variable you have number of observations, number of missing values, and its minimum, its maximum, mean, and standard deviation. This is the correlation matrix. In this correlation matrix, you can clearly observe that almost all the independent variables are highly correlated. The correlation is above 0.90. So this is the case of multicollinearity. Ridge regression of variable y. This is the goodness of fit statistics for y variable. Observations 30, sum of weight 30, degree of freedom 35, R square for this model is 0.85, and MSE is 0.39, and R MSE, mean square root of MSE, is 0.629. The cross validation parameter lambda is 0.130. For this parameter you need to select the lower values or middle values, but always remember, if you will select the higher values of lambda, it will lead to underfitted model. In particularly this case, I have allowed the software to select the lambda automatically. So the selected lambda parameter is 0.130. Model parameters for y. These are the explanatory or independent variables, and these are the coefficients, predicted coefficients for these variables, and these are the values of standard coefficients. This is the intercept for the regression model. This is very important chart, variable importance chart. In this example you can see that 10 most influential variables have been shown in this chart. Most influential variable is x1, x22, x7, x23, x6, x25, x2, x31, x4, and x21. These are 10 variables having most influence or impact on the dependent variable y. This is the graph for lambda. On y-axis we have mean square error, and on x-axis we have lambda. Our lambda value is 0.13 and it lies somewhere here, 0.13. So for your research paper, if you are reporting the ridge regression in your research paper, you will present the summary statistics, the correlation matrix, and goodness of fit. You will write degree of freedom, R square, MSE and RMSE, the value of your cross validation lambda parameters, and the model parameters. In addition, it's also good to provide the variable importance graph, and the evolution of the mean square error cross validation, that is the value of lambda. So it's very important to report these all results in your research paper. It's over from my side. I really hope you find this lecture easy to understand and comprehensive. Thank you very much for attending this session today.
Are you tired of rejection of your academic scholarship? Submit your research to International Journal of Management, Economics and Social Sciences. With us, you will experience a reputable publishing platform that will guarantee high-quality peer review. Our unique mentorship program enables you to develop your research to increase the chances of publication. Our editors are eminent researchers who will provide the much-needed impetus for your academic works. Visit www.ijmes.com and get your work published.